games tonight with Ohio State, I still question that defense. They still put up 39 points, or Michigan still put up 39 points against them last week, and Michigan's offense is really vanilla. It's a boring offense. So Ohio State has a lot of questions on defense still, and I think that's going to play in tonight. But if they can stop the running game, because that's what Northwestern's going to try to do, is control the ground, control that clock, and keep them within striking distance today. But if they can put the clamps on, like Matt said, against Bowser, I think it's going to be a long day for Northwestern, and I think Ohio State can run the score up.
Matt, we've talked about Florida a couple times this year. Here's my prediction for a bowl game, and it's the Peach Bowl and Michigan meet together in the Peach Bowl. How far off am I on that prediction?
I think right now it just depends on where things lay out. It might be a possibility. I expect Michigan to get in the New Year's Six, but who knows? Maybe it's against someone like a UCF or, an LSU or one of those teams. I'm not sure if it's going to be Florida or not. Depends on, because if it's Florida, then you would have a scenario where you have 4 teams from the SEC getting in, and that may be a little bit far-fetched, but be very curious to see what the committee does with the other New Year's Six games, and especially where UCF is going to wind up.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to get into more championships Saturday. We're going to get in, break down to the keys of the game with this Ohio State-Northwestern game, Big Ten championship game right here in our backyard in Indianapolis tonight. And we're going to be talking with Adam Jividen, huge Ohio State Buckeye fan as well. So stand by. We'll be right back right here on the Balance Radio Network.
The Air National Guard is a reserve component of the United States Air Force and serves alongside active-duty Air Force members in times of a national crisis. In addition, the Air Guard serves the state and local community in a wide range of capacities. The reason people join the Air Guard is as diverse as our members and includes such reasons as a deep desire to serve their country, money for college, travel, new job skills, and the pride that goes along with belonging to the greatest military organization in the world. I joined because I felt a calling to serve my country, but I didn't want to be far away from my family, so the Indiana Air National Guard was a perfect fit for me. With over 95 different career opportunities to choose from and 100% paid college tuition to any state-funded college, why not give us a call? Call 1-800-841-3103 or visit online at goang.com to find out more. Again, that's 1-800-841-3103. The Air National Guard, guarding America, defending freedom.
It's double trouble, double the fun at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. See the largest antelope on Earth, the giant eland, and the ugliest creature on Earth, the African warthog. There's so much to see and do, including the Midwest's only drive-through safari. Feed the animals, see live educational shows, feel the excitement. Have your picture taken with a python or cockatoo. Feel the adventure. Shop the Symbol Lodge gift shop with items available from around the globe. Visit the snack bar or picnic facilities. Enjoy a pony or camel ride. Or cheer your favorite porker on to victory in the famous Pork Chop Down. Bring your family to see the rare and exotic animals at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. Just take Route 2 to the Route 53 North exit and follow the sign. Only 17 miles west of Cedar Point via Route 6. Open every day, rain or shine.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be confusing. Like Swedish techno confusing.
Bark, bark, meow, meow. Dance with me, purple cow. Bark, bark, meow, meow. Ooh, you lovely cow.
Geico makes it easy. With 24/7 access, all you have to do is go to Geico.com and you could save money on car insurance. It just makes sense. Unlike,
Dance with me, purple cow. I like your move.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be hard. Like early 90s heavy metal hard.
I'm yelling and screaming and I'm loud. Roar.
Geico makes it easy. You can review and update your policy or report a claim on Geico.com or the Geico mobile app. Because shouldn't we all have a little less stress in our lives?
I'm not even upset about anything.
welcome back to the Balanced Half Hour in the books. 917-889-8516 is our digits. My name is Tom-Marquis, El Presidente. Welcome back. We are continuing our college football conversation with the crew. Joining us also now is Adam Jividan, the world's biggest Ohio State Buckeye fan. Adam, welcome back to the Balance. How is you, sir?
I'm doing good, Tom. How are you?
Fantastic. Also joining us is our crew executive producer of the Balance, Rick-riggin. Rick, are you still with us, sir?
That's a negative, Tom.
That's a negative. That's a negative. And also joining us from up in South Bend, 96.1 WSB, the flight for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, Matthew-Embury. Matthew, are you back with us, sir?
And don't forget, on WSBT today, we have two championship games. We have the Big 12 game coming up this afternoon, or the SEC game coming up this afternoon, followed by JIP. We will join in progress the Big 10 matchup between the Ohio State Buckeyes and Chicago's Big 10 team, the Northwestern Wildcats.
Well, let's get into this. Adam, should we do something called Let's Get Ready to Rumble? Adam, kind of been a rocky season, if you will. We started out with some scandal, if you will, with Urban Meyer. It's felt like Urban Meyer hasn't been in the picture. It's felt like Ohio State hasn't been the way they've been in the past. They found a way to get to the championship game. Do they find a way to get in the playoffs? My guess your answer is going to say yes. Well, hey, congratulations to the Ohio State Buckeyes getting into the Big Ten championship. I actually thought at the beginning of the season that was going to be you guys in Wisconsin. Certainly here in Indianapolis, every hotel is booked. Every bar is full. The atmosphere is ringing. Big Ten championship is here. Ohio State Buckeyes and Northwestern. What are your thoughts about your Ohio State Buckeyes, Adam?
This was a challenging year for us. The thing that was interesting about this team is having Urban Meyer miss those first few games. I think you're just now starting to see what's a very young roster start to kind of round into shape. Obviously, we've missed the loss of Nick Bosa, and who may be the best defensive player in all of college football. A lot of mock drafts have him going first or second, kind of depending on who's drafting up there at the top. So we're missing him, but last week to be able to beat the brakes off of that team up north felt real good. I think our offense is not nearly being regarded at the level that it should be. You hear people rant and rave about Oklahoma, other schools like West Virginia, the offense that Alabama's put on the field, but Dwayne Haskins leads the number 2 offensive attack in the country. And has done so against some pretty good defenses. Do I think we get in the playoffs? I don't know. I think we should. I think if you actually sit down and take the team names off of the paper and you look at statistically, we are significantly better than Oklahoma on defense. Oklahoma is ranked 111th, and I think we're checking in at 69, which by Ohio State standards is still not good. But has been, but last week showed how well we could play while posting the number 2 defense in the country, or excuse me, the number 2 offense in the country. I think both of our top 2 wins on the road at Penn State and then beating Michigan, as I said, are better than the single win that Oklahoma has. But I think if you listen to the playoff committee, I think they've kind of just made up their mind. They know what they're getting with Oklahoma, and they'd rather know what they're getting than take the potential. And then, I also don't know how much of this is driven by what happened at the start of the year with Urban Meyer. But we'll see. I definitely could see a scenario where Oklahoma and Texas is a tight game, or Oklahoma even loses. And I think tonight, I don't see a similar situation to 2014 when we beat when we beat Wisconsin 59-0. But I see something fairly similar. I don't think Northwestern has the athletes to keep up with our offense, with Dwayne Haskins throwing to Paris Campbell and Johnny Dixon, Indianapolis' own Terry McLaurin, Chris Olave, our running back attack led by Weber and Dobbins. Farrell at tight end, Barry at tight end. I just don't think they can keep up with it. That's a lot of weapons on the field, and I think Northwestern keeps it close for about a half, kind of like what you saw against that team up north. But then in the third quarter, you'll see it start to just turn the tide, if you will. And I could see a scenario where we post like a 21, 28-point quarter in the third quarter and just completely outpace Northwestern, winning handily.
Well, we'll certainly see look back at the records right now, and considering that if Ohio State does get left out, will the main reason be looked upon the performance in West Lafayette as the reason that they would be omitted from the top four, assuming everybody wins today?
Oh, absolutely. I think, frankly, if they had even won that game by 1 point, we wouldn't be talking about this right now. That game was the stereotypical classic trap game where Purdue had everything going for them. We played absolute garbage and got our butts kicked. No, I think that's absolutely what we're talking about. If it was even close, I don't even think that would be a concern right now. But I think the playoff committee is looking at it going, do we want to put them in against Alabama? Because which team will show up? The team that scored 62 points on and could have been more on Michigan, or is it going to be the team that got smoked in West Lafayette that night?
Rick-riggin, executive producer of The Balance. Rick, you're up. I tell you what, one of the things that we talk about in an election year, so go Ohio, so go the country, so go Oklahoma, so go the playoffs. What are your thoughts? And as you listen to Adam talk about his Ohio State Buckeyes, he makes some very valid points, but certainly makes the points from a fan's perspective. What are your thoughts? Any questions you have for Adam, Rick?
Well, I think Adam and Matt right now are both right about that loss to Purdue. That is if it was a closer loss, maybe we're not looking at Oklahoma being ranked ahead of Ohio State right now. Or even if it was, a 1 point win, then Ohio State would definitely be ranked ahead of Oklahoma. That's the problem Ohio State has right now, is Oklahoma just being ranked one spot ahead of them. And if they beat Texas today, I see that Texas game being a bigger win than the Northwestern win would be. So that's why I feel like Ohio State's going to run the score up against Northwestern, or at least try to make that win look great in the eyes of the committee. And, Matt, I do have a question, and since Matt or Adam's here, we can get his thoughts on it, too, if he saw any of this, because I feel like there's a little bit of smoke with this, but not sure if there's any fire just yet. But we saw reports come out yesterday that Urban Meyer is going to coach one more season at Ohio State next season and then retire, and Ryan Day is going to take over. So, Matt, have you heard anything about that? Is there any fire at that smoke?
I haven't heard anything of that personally. I think Adam, being the expert of this, would be the better question right now. But again, you have an Urban Meyer that has gone through some stressful and some bumpy roads. He did at Utah, did at Florida. Had he gotten the Notre Dame job, Lord knows what might have happened in South Bend. Considering now, that's a scary thought to think about, Rick, to be honest, being the Notre Dame fans that we are. But you look at the Ohio State situation, could he have handled it better? Maybe. But the stress situation, and this is a guy that just does not seem to handle stress very well, and I think right now, if the stress things happen and those rumors come up during the off season, we could be looking at a one and done scenario. But I'm not sure if Ryan Day is going to be the coach. I think there are other possibilities that they could look at right now. I think you just saw Utah State's coach go to Texas Tech, so there are some opportunities out there, but I don't think necessarily Ryan Day would be the guy.
Adam, we're going to get your thoughts on that here in just a moment. One of the things that I thought that I'm glad they brought up this coaching thing with Urban Meyer, because I honestly think he's done at the end of this season. And I've heard a lot of rumblings, of course, not always where there's smoke, there's fire, but a lot of times where there is smoke, there is fire. So there's two different fires here. I've heard that this is it for him, and that there's a possibility